لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين أبي القاسم مصطفى محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين. أما بعد، قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في القرآن الكريم: وقوله حق وهو أصدق الصادقين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل كل يعمل على شاكلته فربكم أعلم بمن هو أهدى سبيلا. Recite salawat. Say, O Prophet, each one acts according to his disposition, but your Lord knows well who follow the right path. Today is the second session of the series of lectures which we have discussed about how to bring change in our behavior and thoughts. So let's go to the first slide. We are here to discuss about the change which we want to bring in our thoughts so that we can bring change in our behavior, so that we can bring change in our families, so that we can bring change in our communities, we can bring change in our society, in our country, around the world. But change comes through thought process. It has to go through a process, then change comes. And one of the process is to develop your mind thinking, is develop your mindset, the way we think. So let's go and see today what I'm here to share with you. Let's go to the next slide, please. Everything you think, everything you feel, every action you take is because of your belief and values. So whatever I do is because of my values, the values I have in my life. I'm doing because of that. So let's suppose, supposing is not an issue. Let's suppose you get a check of $100,000. If you get it, let me know and share it with me also. But if you get it, inshallah, what is the first thing you're going to do with that money? If you get a $100,000 check, if you don't have a heart attack, what will you do with that money? First thing, what will you do? Whatever you will do, that is your value. Whatever will you do with this money, whatever comes to your mind, if I will get this, I will buy a house. No, I don't know, I will open a business. I will do this, I will do that. Whatever is coming to your mind first is your real value. So think about those values which you have in your mind. And these are material things which we are thinking. I will buy a car, I will buy a house, or I will get a life insurance. I don't know, I will get my daughter married. All these things, these are all material. But these are our values. What if Imam comes and asks you, what do you want? I will give you what you want. What we will ask? The same thing? Because this is our top priority. This is our top value. When we go for ziyarat, what do we ask for from Imam? All the material things, unfortunately. It's very important for us to focus that where we are going, where we are heading, what we are after, what we are aiming, what is our purpose. Before we go to the next slide, I will share something here. You may not be aware of it, your value. You may not be conscious of it, but your values shape your decisions, and your decisions shape your life. Let's go to the next slide. So in this diagram, I wanted to show that the important thing is your values. Whatever is your value in life will affect your decisions in life, and that will make your life. So it's very important that how do you make decisions, on what values, on what criteria, on what standards we make decisions. When you make a decision, when you take a decision, you take responsibility. If you cannot take a decision, you cannot take responsibility. So it is important for us to decide, to take a decision. When you take a decision, it means you have a choice. You have a free will. Either you take it or you don't take it. From God, there are certain decisions which you have nothing to do in it. You have to do it. That's a condition. That's something wajib on you or haram on you, that you have to do it. But there are certain things where you have a free will and a choice. There you take decisions. Yes, I will do this or I will not do this. And for that you are responsible. And for that you are accountable. That is very important for us to understand. That my decision, I am all about my decisions. If I really make a strong decision, I can do it. If I can't make a decision, then how will I do it? I can't. I don't have that energy in me. I'm confused. So consider this in your life, that once you make a decision, go for it, because you have taken the charge, you have taken the responsibility. Yes, I will do it. Inshallah, God will help you. And go forward, because this is your life. And you are going to live once in this life. Live with the fullest. Live with the maximum and optimum of your potential, which you have, which God has given you. It's a gift. Take full of it. Don't just leave it like this. Don't flow with the flow. Otherwise you will hit the rock. Take your direction and go with it. If you value money more than happiness, your life might be full of expensive things, but there will be no joy in that experience. Imagine how different your life would be if you change a value of money and replace it with the value of love. Creating and stating your values consciously can change the direction of your life. If you decide to apply any of these values which we are going to share to your life, in your relationships, either it can make you or break you. Very important. Because now you are living with those values which you have decided to live by. What are your values? What are your values in your life? If I want to pass a judgment which I should not, I will ask you, what are your values in life? Then I will judge your personality. Because you live by your values. We all live by our values. So your values is your identity, is your personality. When we speak to you, when we talk to you, then we understand your values and we judge you. We say, okay, this person is of that caliber. That is very important. So develop your values and strength. And let's go to the next slide, which says that our values, we live with our values and we develop our relationship because of those values. The person you value, you make relationship with that person. If you are a father, your relationship with your family. If you are a husband, your relationship with your wife and in-laws. So all these relationships are important because you are giving value to that. But it says, remember. Can we go to the next slide, please? It says, remember, relationships never die a natural death. Relationships never die a natural death. They are always murdered by attitude, behavior, ego, or ignorance. Keep this in mind. Don't say it happened just like this. No, we are responsible because we are not giving value to our values. We are not giving values to human beings whom we live with. So we murder them. Sometimes we do it purposely, sometimes we do it unintentionally, but we do it. We are responsible for it. Can we go to the next slide? So this is the first value which I would like to share. Being responsible rather than irresponsible. Last week we discussed about it. So if I am a responsible person, what is going to happen to me in my life if I am a responsible person? How is going to help me to be responsible? Let's suppose we say, Al-Ajal ya Imam, Al-Ajal ya Imam, and if Imam comes, will he select me in his team because I am irresponsible? Will he keep me in his army because I am irresponsible? Will he keep me in his companions because I am irresponsible? Not at all. Will he designate a position? No, he will not. Of course not. I am not practicing it. I don't have a sense of responsibility in me. Either it's small or big, it doesn't make a difference. Responsibility is responsibility. I'm not taking charge of myself. I'm not taking charge of my family. It's a process of self-building. You take charge of yourself, you take charge of your family, you take charge of your community, and onwards. So if I'm not responsible, then how can I be in the companions of our Imam? Let's build our society based on responsibility. Let's educate our children on that. Let's make programs on that. So from the childhood, we are working on our children. One of the problems which I see across the world, not only here, across the world, the problem of upbringing of our children by the communities. Although communities are working very well, especially when I'm here in Dar, I've observed that you have a fantastic system here. From the childhood, the child goes to Mahfil Asghari for upbringing, for learning religious values, practice them. They have madrasa system, Madrasa Hussaini for the boys and girls, they have madrasa. You have a school, you have Imam Barga, everything is there. But there is no connection. There is no connection means there is no process of mentoring. There is no one there to mentor this child from the childhood up till he becomes an adult. Everybody is working on their own level. They are trying their level best. But there is no bird's eye view so that we can see, okay, this child has this potential, let's build it. From Mahfil Asghari to madrasa, to school, to community and onwards. So that mentoring system is missing. Not in here, in everywhere. We don't have mentors. We don't have process. Yes, parents can do a certain level. A school can do a certain level. Madrasa can do a certain level. Institutions, organizations can do a certain level. But who's going to see an overall view? Like in education, from a toddlers to school, graduate, university, PhD, you have a curriculum. You have designed a curriculum in such a way that a child enters from the nursery or pre-nursery or toddler and you know how he's going to study and he's going to do PhD, then he's going to be a final product. But what are we doing for our kids? Do we have a plan from nursery to build their personality, to build their ability, to build them as a good human being? Because education in this system, in today's world, education, I will inshallah discuss in detail about some other time. Education is not building characters. Education system has failed to produce a good human being. They are giving you degrees, but they are not building your personality. They don't build a good husband. They don't build a good father. They don't build a good leader. If you put them into a school and it's like a factory model, it comes out in a finished good. He is a good tool for that capitalistic society to fit in that system. But he is not a good human being because there is no program of character building, of moral values and so forth. We have to do it. It's our duty. As a parent, what I can do best, I will do. What madrasa can do, they should do. What Mahfil Asghari is doing, they should do. All of us should do something, but in a pattern. in a systematic way, so that we can follow up, we can analyze, and we can rectify and improve. Like it's a very common sense of management. Whoever is here in management, they know very well. You plan, you implement, you analyze, and then again you modify it, and then go on. That's how you see the progress. That is what we need to see in our children. And we can't blame each other. No blame games, please. Then we can see community progressing, community developing. Because there's a process, there's a check, there's evaluation. That responsibility has to be taken by the leaders. You are the leaders. You have to do it. Angels will not come to do your job. You will have to do your job. You have to work together. So it's very important. So responsibility, we all have to take. If I am a husband, I have a responsibility. So what is the beauty of responsibility? The beauty of responsibility is, it has limits. You have a limitation. You have a boundary. When you're responsible within that boundary. And that boundary is your responsibility. After that, another person's responsibility starts. It is their boundary. So I don't step in your boundary, you don't step in my boundary. I'm secure, I'm safe, I know what to do. You know what you have to do. Then we grow, then we progress, then we develop, because I take the charge. If there is no boundary, then you know there's a chaos. And we can see this chaos in our family lives. We can see the divorce rate. We can see the separation. We can see the respect which is going on, which is not there in our families. We can see how children are losing the respect, the love, the attachment. I will discuss all these things in future, inshallah. How it is happening and why it is happening. We can discuss problems, but we need to find the root cause and solve it. Whatever I know, I will inshallah share with you. But you people have to take the charge and go on. So I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the strength, the energy, the knowledge, the wisdom, so that we can bring change and we do something for our new generation, so that they don't blame us that what our elders has done for us. Yes, we have done something and you have to do something else. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
توجه زيارة. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليك يا رسول الله، السلام عليك يا نبي الله، السلام عليك يا أمير المؤمنين يا سيد الوصيين، السلام عليك يا مولاتي يا فاطمة الزهراء سيدة نساء العالمين.